Alrighty, it looks like the gang is all here. Welcome back, guys, to another pre-game thoughts video with Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. I'm Dom, that's Gonz. We're here to talk Ravens-Browns Sunday afternoon. Another divisional matchup for the Baltimore Ravens. Gonz, how you feeling on this Saturday night?
Yeah, it's a nice evening, a little brisk. Lots of cool college games today. Ohio State got into a dogfight with, who was it, Nebraska. The fake Patrick Mahomes, Dylan Raiola, almost pulled off a crazy upset, so that was fun. I watched a little bit of Penn State, and now I'm ready to shift over my focus to NFL Sunday, which is tomorrow, Week 8. Let's get it.
It's going to be a good one, hopefully. Eddie, what's going on in the chat, my guy? But yeah, guys, we're here to talk Ravens Browns. Ravens are currently 5-2, battling for first in the division with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is a fight right now. I don't think they've had a divisional matchup yet, if I'm not mistaken. I know they have one coming up soon. I think we play them pretty soon. Don't know if they had anything prior to that, but we're still battling for first in the AFC North. As much as I don't mind not having the one seed, I still kind of want that first in division just to say F you to the black and yellow, but that is here for another day. But before we get into any talk, we got to talk injuries. We're a little down bad right now in that secondary. No Marlon Humphrey, no Nate Wiggins. Going into this game, we will be having Brandon Stevens as our leading DB. Behind him will most likely be Arthur Millette. And Jalen Armour-Davis activated for this game, and there's a practice squad player, Ryan Cooper, I believe is his name, who's been elevated from the practice squad and will most likely be ready to go. Gon, your thoughts on these injuries? I was hoping that didn't hit us. We were doing so well for the first 7 weeks, and then I know Marlowe got injured after that pick. I think that was the Mike Evans pick, or no, I think that was the second pick where he got hurt. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, we're kind of down bad in the secondary. But if there was any game for us to let these guys heal, I would rather it be this one. Your thoughts?
Uh, First of all, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, a little concerning, actually. I was already, bracing myself to have Marlon Humphrey absent for tomorrow's game. But I was fine with that because, A, he's not hurt that bad, and if he just gets his full rest, he should be recovered back to full strength pretty quickly. And B, the Browns traded away Amari Cooper last week to the Buffalo Bills, so they don't really have that, elite number one clear-cut veteran wideout that could, carve us up. They don't have them a little Mike Evans. They don't have them a Chris Godwin. They don't have them a Terry McLaurin, etc. So I was okay with that. But then once we hear the Wiggins news, who practiced fully on Friday and Thursday, I believe, uh, sounded like he was okay. He was listed with a shoulder and an illness, didn't make the flight today, and downgraded out. So what does that mean? Like you said, I'm fine with Stevens. Stevens will be fine on the outside, but who's really going to take that step? Is it going to be Armour-Davis? I don't think it's any chance that Millette plays on the outside, does it? I mean, he's always a slot. He's a blitzer. He's a slot guy. I don't know who they're going to have over there at cornerback too on the outside. I'm probably going to have to be Armour-Davis. Maybe a little bit of Washington or Darius. I don't know.
They did say
I'm
our Darius Washington did say that Washington will most likely have to step up in that role. I don't know if it's slot,
Yeah,
but he will be playing most likely more corner than he does safety,
that's what I
definitely in this
figured.
next year.
Well, we're going to need every bit of it because that you can 100% bet that's where the Browns are going to be attacking. Whoever's matched up on the wide receiver too. So yeah, I'm a little concerned, but what reassures me that they don't have that number one guy. So we'll see how this pans out. We will. That just makes it all the more better, and we'll talk about this in a little bit when we talk defense. That more important that we have a strong game from our rush. We really need to really rush the passer well so they don't have time to carve us up. So yeah, I'm a little bit concerned, but fortunately it's for this game and not for last game. Yeah.
You are not wrong. Yeah, if there was any game where I feel like we should let our guys heal up a little bit, it most likely would be this one. Now, mind you, this is still a divisional matchup. Division opponents always play each other hard. I don't care what division it is. I don't care what conference it is. Divisional matchups are tough. I'm not counting the Browns to be an easy out. Doesn't matter their record. Um, but with the injuries they've also been hit with and the trades they've made, they aren't as formidable as they would have been maybe 2 weeks ago. But nonetheless, again, divisional matchup, AFC North football, it's going to be rough. Will I miss Marlo and Nate Wiggins out there? Absolutely. But I'm hoping that this is also to see what, Zach Orr can do. You're down two of your top guys. What are you going to scheme up? What are you cooking? To get these other guys in the right position to make plays and, to let this defense, still show out even without your two best corners. So it's going to be interesting to see what he comes up with. So I'm going to be excited to see it. But yeah, I think those are the major injuries, I believe. I think there was two more guys out. I know TJ Tampa is also not playing.
We need to keep an eye on the Zay Flowers situation as well. I know he was limited in practice on Friday, but missed the first 2 days, limited in Friday, and Travis Jones was the other guy to look out for as well. He was limited Thursday and Friday, so I expect Jones to go, but he's hampered with something. I forget what it said, because he didn't do much on Monday night. So yeah, he's going to be active, but I don't think he's going to be super effective. He's got to nurse that injury. Hopefully, he can get back in shape sooner rather than later. Zay Flowers, same for that as well. He, as you guys know, he got injured on Monday night. Stepped out of the game for a few plays, came back in, but didn't do too much after that. So I'm not sure how effective Zay will be if he is active. If I had to choose, this one's a toss-up. I'm more confident that Jones plays. I don't know what we'll do. Because the Browns play a lot of man coverage, and they like to bring the blitz, and they like to stack the box. So we need guys like Zay to play. So I don't – and these are rough going games, as you said. It's AFC North football. These are going to be physical, bruising games. So I don't know if we should give Zay Flowers out there or put him out there if he's not 100%. But my best guess is they're probably going to have him go, but they're going to use him sparingly. That's my best guess, and that's something we should monitor and keep an eye on.
No, absolutely. You definitely want to worry about the players' health. We're not even really halfway into the season yet. We're almost about there. So, when you're already down two of your top guys on defense, you really start to, think about, man, is it necessary to have those guys out there? But I mean, again, if this is the game to do it, I mean, this is most likely the best game to do it, to let those guys rest
We
up.
should be
Zay will
getting
most likely,
Broderick back too. Broderick Washington
yeah.
is a full participant. He should be good to go. So you're kind of swapping Jones for Washington out in that aspect. But yeah, Zay Flowers, I hope we're careful with that
Wouldn't be surprised if
because
it's
he's
a
special.
game time decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if that's a game time decision. As we made our way to Cleveland. But yeah, guys, those are the injuries. Hopefully, our guys will be good. Give Marlo and Wiggins some time to heal. Give all those guys time to heal. Hopefully, they'll be good to go next week because we have a lot of short turnaround coming up soon. So hopefully, they'll be good to go. All right, but let's get into the bulk of this game.
Hold on
Again,
before we move on, real quick. Sorry, a couple things to talk about for Cleveland on their injury report. They had a laundry list as well. A lot of guys missed it on Wednesday and Thursday. But probably the biggest name to look out for is Jerome Ford is out. I thought I saw, maybe it was a dream I had last night. I don't know. I thought I remembered looking at my phone saying Jerome Ford will be out for the game. Maybe I'm wrong, but he has not practiced all week. So
oh yeah, he's not.
I
He's not.
wouldn't
He's probably out.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect him to play. And that might be big for Cleveland because they're going to have to rely on those other backs. Dante Foreman, I believe they have him, and someone else. And I know they have Nick Chubb, but He's coming off that major injury. They're still working his way back in the offense. I don't expect him to get the ball 30 times. I really don't,
No, not this
because
early.
they don't want to work him back, overwork him.
Right.
Those things are dangerous. And then a couple other guys were dinged up on the Browns, especially in their secondary. Like I thought I saw like guys like Grant Delpit in there. Their safety number 23. What was that guy's name? Martin Emerson, I believe. I think he was limited. You can correct me if I'm wrong as
I'm
Dom's
about to say it
booting his
sounds getting
computer up.
it.
So a couple guys in that secondary coming back. Jordan Hicks, another one of their middle linebackers, I believe he was limited. I'm not sure if he'll be playing, but they're banged up. And we already know Myles Garrett. I know he's not on the injury report, but he is dealing with injuries. He said he was a couple weeks ago. I don't know what his status is now. Sheldon Rankins, that big guy they signed in the offseason to clog up the middle, is still on the list. I know he's practicing, but, they're dinged up. Okay, a lot of these guys, if you're on that list, you're dinged up. Okay, so they're dealing with stuff. We'll see who is active exactly. I know most of their stars are going to be playing. JOK, Denzel Ward are out there. Greg Newsome, they're all going to be out there. Sticky man coverage corners. I'm not sure. I think Juan Thornhill, I'm not sure if he's playing or not. I didn't get a good look at the Browns injury report, but we will, it's something else to monitor because I know a lot of these guys were on the report, so they're dinged up. Browns are, and then especially with the loss of Jerome Ford, expect us to key in on that run game and really make Winston throw the ball. So we'll see. Both teams going through it a little bit with
Yeah,
the
no,
injury
both
reports.
teams are definitely down bad university. As I make sure we verify each injury report. There are definitely some guys who will be important guys, I should say, who will be missing the game on Sunday, which I guess is maybe good for us, bad for us in a sense.
Okay.
Again, the Browns, even fully healthy, were kind of like they weren't playing at their best. Um, so let me see
Zadarius
if I
Smith
can.
will be out there. Garrett will be out there.
He's been in trade talks lately, so that's something to
Yeah.
monitor as well as we, Um, let's see
All right. Well,
here.
are you have that pulled up?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the Browns' real quick just to verify. Okay, so as far as the guys that are out, Jerome Ford is out.
Okay. So
Ronnie
I was right.
Hickman is out. Jordan Hicks is out, and Jedrick Willis Jr. is also out.
They're left tackle. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Wyatt
that he was
Teller.
playing super well
Yeah.
anyway.
Wyatt Teller, another good lineman for them, is questionable, but other than that, they seem like they are pretty much good to go. Delpit will go. He was a full participant in practice
Emerson out
yesterday.
there? Yeah, I'm assuming he'll be out there too.
Actually, Emerson is not on the report,
Okay.
so he looks like he's good to go. Judy was good to go. Yeah, everybody else is good to go. It's just those four guys. Garrett was a full participant dealing with an Achilles injury, so that's definitely going to be something to keep an eye
Garrett?
on.
Miles
Yeah,
Garrett?
Myles Garrett, yeah,
Okay.
dealing with an Achilles injury at this time, but he was a full participant all week, so I'm guessing he will be fine. Um, just to verify for us as well before we get into the game, Rasheen Ali, who I mean, he's pretty much been out pretty much the whole damn year. I don't know what's going on with him. Armour Davis is expected to be good. Zay did not practice Wednesday and Thursday, but was limited Friday, so he is questionable. We already told you guys Humphrey was doubtful. Travis Jones did not participate Wednesday, but it was limited Thursday and Friday. Could be good to go. Millette has had two good full practices, so he'll be good to go.
Yep.
Keaton is still working his way back, so of course he's out. Tampa also has not practiced all week. He's out. Broderick Washington, again, full participant these last 2 days, so he'll be good to go. And Wiggins, he was
Right.
questionable on the report initially, but we now know he is confirmed out. So
Yes.
we have four guys, well, five guys, I'm sorry, who will most likely not be playing on Sunday.
Yeah, that's fine. I was mainly concerned about the Browns. We kind of hit all those
Yeah,
points on
most
the
of these
Ravens already.
guys, yeah. So, but
Um,
most of these guys look
I
like,
mean, we were
I
kind of right
mean,
about the Browns too. I mean, there was just a couple question marks. So yeah, okay,
yeah, well,
okay,
yeah, most looks like they'll be most to go, good to go for the most part, just for a couple of guys, same as us.
okay.
So, but yeah, all right, guys, that's the injury report. We know who's in, who's out. Now we talk offense and defense. Let's get started with this offense before we get ready, because we know we're dealing with the injuries we mentioned before, so we'll get into that a little bit later. Offensively, Gonz pretty much hit it on the head here. The Browns love to stack the box. They're another team that loves to blitz, just like the Bucks did on Monday night. You saw what Lamar did against that blitz. He only missed like three passes, 166 yards against the blitz, like three touchdowns. He was going nuts against the blitz. My only thing is, though, will this be another one of those starts where it's like, oh, okay, they're blitzing, we get sacked back to back plays? You know what I mean? Do we have to like reel back into it again, or do we practice it better to be prepared for it more? That's kind of like my question going into this. How prepared are we for the blitz as we were before? 'Cause I feel like we kind of had to like build up to it compared to just being like, okay, they're blitzing, we're about to pick this apart. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm kind of interested to see what Monken has in store for this team. As far as like stacking the box goes, I know with Henry, the Browns know what we're going to want to do. They know we're going to want to run the ball. I mean, this is when we had Gus, Dobbins, Mitchell, all those guys, they knew we wanted to run the ball. It's the same story, different day. You know what I mean? So my question is this also going to be another slow start for Henry? Because remember, Henry had a slow start Monday night against the Bucks, 23 yards, 4 carries in that first half. Didn't get that explosive run until the second half, but then he started with 23 rushing yards and ended with like 169. So I'm not too worried about it, but I'm just interested to see what the Browns are scheming to defend him, knowing that Lamar likes to run on the backfield too. How prepared are they for that? It's going to be interesting for me. I think if Zay is limited in what he can do on the field, this could be another Bateman day, as Edmund had mentioned in the chat. I think Bateman, I don't know if he has 100 yards again, but I feel like he can have another decent day. He's shown that he can step up when Zay is like not really at 100%. Plus, likely it is National Tight End Day. Would not be surprised if we get one of our tight ends in the end zone. I'm thinking most likely, because I know Andrews had his day last weekend, but spoiler alert, I put a parlay on it. Um,
Let's get them all three. Let's get all three of them in there.
I'm not really mad at you at that point. That's everybody. If an offensive lineman, we can get offensive lineman in there, I want to score. But yeah, those are kind of like my key things. How well are we going to defend this blitz? Is this going to be another slow start for Henry? Because we know he can pick it up in that second half. But how are the Browns going to defend him and Lamar, especially for that read option play that they love to do? And will this be another big day for Bateman? I mean, he's been showing that he can do it. He's been showing that he can go off script. He's been showing that he can play on script. I mean, he's been playing lights out. So I'm really ready to see what he can do. But I feel like if it's not broke, don't fix it. I feel like you stick with the run game. Um, get the ball out quick. Lamar has been like throwing the ball in under a second most of this time, getting the ball out of his hands very quickly. The screen game is working to perfection. Whether it's Henry, whether it's Hill, we're getting the ball out fast, and those guys are breaking tackles and making guys miss to either get first downs or to get touchdowns. So keep utilizing the screen game, especially when it comes to this blitz heavy team. We know Garrett knows us well, so he's going to be watching for Lamar at all times. I don't care what the Browns' record is. We're not going to ignore the fact that Myles Garrett is a game wrecker when he wants to be. I'm not writing this Browns team off just yet against us. I know a lot of people on social media are calling this a trap game. It very well could be. I don't know. But I'm not writing this team off, especially this D-line, because, again, this defense, I feel like it can turn up on us at any time. So I say continue to get the ball out quick. Get it to Derrick Henry, get it to Justice Hill, get it to those guys in the backfield, utilize the screen game. I think this should be a fine offensively. And Lamar, don't be afraid to run it. I mean, it's just I'm kind of following the same script with the Bucks because again, the Bucks have a really good defense. They schemed up different blitzes. I mean, they stacked the box trying to stop Henry. Like it's the same stuff, different day. Let's just continue to get the ball out of Lamar's hands quick and continue to trust him to be able to make those plays.
Yeah, we need a big game from the O line because you already know how this team brings the pressure and doesn't even need to bring the pressure. They've got studs on the edge. coming after you. Darius Smith, Myles Garrett, even at 50% is still a force. And then they've got Okoronkwo, 54. I think he's playing. And then just other guys as well in the middle. Rankins, he'll most likely be out there too. So we need a really good day from this O-line. It's going to be tough. And, these Browns rushers have gotten after us plenty of times over the years. Just recently, last year. We all remember that second game we played in Baltimore last year. I mean, Ravens scored 31 points, but that pressure was really getting after Jackson, especially in the second half. Like, it was brutal. We got to be ready for this, okay? Make sure we need some chip blocks. Justice Hill needs to continue his, stretch of good pass protection. I mean, that's been very impressive of what he's done over the course of the first 7 games as well. So we're gonna need to blitz. We're gonna need to block. Everybody's gonna need to be on their A game. I know we want to get it out fast, but you still need to be ready. You don't want to get destroyed off the line of scrimmage, and then just give up an insta sack. I mean, that's how you get fumbles and bad things happen. And if we can get control of these linemen, that'll limit their ability to put their hands up and tip those passes at the line of scrimmage, because that's another thing the Browns are really good at, tipping those line of scrimmage passes and then just getting interceptions off those. So we really got to be. I think this O-line is very key for this game, because that's just about as key as the tight ends and the slot wide receivers, beating the man coverage. It all starts with the blocking. So if we can get some good blocks, settle in early, not make this an off-tempo type of game for the offense where everything is off-script, and off-tempo where we're kind of just frolicking around like we were at points last year, which drew the attention of Kurt Warner, as we remember that. So let's block. Let's keep everything on our tempo. Let's run this game on our terms, and we should be fine. And yeah, you took my point for me. Screens. We really got to make them pay on the screens, because they are, they blitz heavy. Okay, blitz heavy, and the Ravens have been one of the better screen teams, screen offenses rather, in the NFL. I mean, they scored a touchdown in one last week on 2nd and goal from like the 20. Bucks sent the house, dump off to, Justice Hill to get those linemen running out in space. Nobody wants to block that. Nobody wants to make those tackles. I mean, Antoine Winfield gave it his best shot last week, but no, it was walk-in touchdown for Justice Hill. So let's get that going, make them pay, make them beat the blitz. It's a really important game. I'm glad you brought up it was National Tight Ends Day. Really important game for the tight ends. Okay, if they're going to sit in man coverage, we need Likely to win his matchups. We need Andrews to beat his man. We need Kolar to beat his man. This is big, because that's how we can utilize the middle of the field. And then Bateman on those slants. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's show that route running that we all know you can do. Which he showcased last week, and he has each and every week, which is great. Keep it going, because that's that quick passes. Double moves, just man-beating routes. We just got to be on our game. And if there's no Zay Flowers, we're going to see probably a lot more Nelson Aguilar, to complement Bateman and some of the other wideouts as well. Maybe some Tylan Wallace. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's a big game. It's a big game for those things. So that's going to be my keys of the game on offense. Pass protect, big time. That's probably my number one. If it hasn't been all year, it is this game. Pass protect is key. Just all out, controlling the line of scrimmage on offense. Before I get to my second key, I want to address Derrick Henry. I wouldn't even say Derrick Henry had a slow start last game. I mean, there's just no way you're going to get yards when they're stacking the box. I mean, you're kind of just running the ball there to keep the defense honest. Let's be real. Because once that third quarter hits, I tell you, that's when he goes off. That's when teams don't want to play him. They don't want to tackle him. I expect the same thing. I mean, Browns are going to come out hyping, firing on defense. No, you ain't going to run with Henry. Let's get to the third quarter. They're going to get a little gassed, and then that's when we can really hit some gashes with that king in the backfield. You know what I mean? So, stay true to the run. Don't just give it up. It's not going to work. You can bet on that. It will not work in the first half that well, because the Browns, they're a stout defense. And I know their rush defense isn't crazy good, but it's decent. And when you blitz and stack the box, they're gonna cause problems in the run game. But that doesn't mean it's a failure. Okay, you got to keep them honest. So stay true to your run game, solid offensive line play. That's 2 things. And then 3 things, limit the turnovers. Okay, that's the only way these kind of games get out of hand. When you play good defenses with bad offenses, you got to play clean football. I mean, that's the reason why we lost to Pittsburgh last year at the end of the game in Week 5. That interception in the end zone kept them in the game. I mean, it's just straight, and that fumble at the end, like, don't turn it over. Play a clean game. Okay. Knock on wood right now. We've done pretty decent with that recently. So let's continue to do that. I'm scared to even make that point. But yeah, we should be walking out with a dub on offense if we can control the line of scrimmage. What did I just say? Just stay true to the run game, and then a turnover-free game on the offense. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And penalties. Limiting the
That's
offensive
an
line
intangible
penalties.
for me. That's not just
Yeah,
offense. That's
yeah.
everything.
That's and I feel like that Bucks game, man, we were just getting hit with a whole bunch of penalties. And I know a lot of them were BS. I know the refs, they've been trash all year. I'm not gonna lie to you. At least I'm not gonna get fined, so I know I can say it. But the refs have just not been good, and it's just been an example. I mean, a Thursday night game was an example. I mean, it cost the Vikings an opportunity to try to go out and win that game against the Rams. I mean, Sam Darnold's out here getting decapitated, and the ref is just like, no call. Like, it's crazy. He's staring right at it. Like, I don't know. That's another thing for another day. But yeah, we have to limit those offensive line penalties because that just backs us up way too much. Especially because I think on one possession in the Bucks game, like, dude, we were like first and goal or whatever, and mind you, we were on like the 5 the something yard line, and then it backed us up to damn near the 30.
Yep.
So we had to try to limit those. But you're right, that is an intangible. That's on both sides of the ball. We have to limit penalties on both sides of the ball. I think that just needs to be I don't know exactly what we're doing, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but again, we're like the 4th most penalized team in the league. So we definitely have to clean that stuff up because those good teams will punish us the more penalties we give up. So we definitely need to clean that up. Let's start it here in this game. But I agree with you 100%. Offensive line has to be solid. Run game should start off pretty strong. And if we don't have any turnovers, I mean, we're good. Like, we should be able to play clean football, and we should be fine. All right, guys, so we're not going to move on to the defensive side of the ball. As you all know, Deshaun Watson did suffer a season-ending injury. Famous Jameis Winston will be starting at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I know some Browns fans have been calling for this for a couple of weeks now, due to the Browns' inability to really put a lot of points on the board. They were looking for a quarterback change. A lot of people were saying, I mean, when you're paying Watson all that money, I mean, you're not going to change quarterbacks. Like, when you gave him a fully guaranteed contract. So, but now they're forced to start Jameis Winston. He will be backed up by Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I'm not going to lie. It's been a very long time since we've seen Jameis sling the football. Not too long, but it's definitely been a minute since we've seen him actually play an impactful game of football. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what I'm fully expecting from him. I know he's prone to mistakes. I mean, he threw a documentary. He threw a 30 for 30. And when he had one full season of quarterback play. So I'm expecting, I know with our secondary kind of banged up, I don't know if we'll be able to force as many turnovers, maybe get some interceptions. I think the key to this is we need to see the pressure step up. I think this is the game we have to start seeing our defensive line step up a little more. Baker Mayfield had a long time in the pocket on Monday night. Me and Gonz were talking about it in the post game. I mean, he could have called his girl, made dinner reservations, checked to see what movies were coming on Tuesday morning. He has some time back there. I think this is the game where we have to start seeing our defensive line step up a little bit more, get a little more pressure on Jameis, maybe try to force a mistake. Kind of like we tried to do with Baker, even though I feel like the mistakes that Baker made weren't really like pressure mistakes. he was just trying to throw the ball up, and Marlon was just there. So I guess we'll just take that where it's due. But yeah, let's try to get some pressure on Jameis. Try to force some mistakes. I'm really interested to see how much the secondary can hold up without Marlon and Wiggins. Now, mind you, this receiving core isn't gonna knock your socks off. I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's just the truth. I mean, with the subtraction of Amari Cooper and on his way to the Bills, I mean, I guess wide receiver one is probably Jerry Jeudy, I'm guessing, and then you still have Elijah Moore. We also cannot forget about Njoku. He's still a threat, whether it's a deep pass or over the middle. We have to be able to protect over the middle. We don't know what Njoku. I mean, he can run any route, but just be on the safe side. But and Nick Chubb. I mean, Nick Chubb is still ramping up. He's still trying to get himself back to form. He just had his first game action last week. He did score a touchdown in his first game back. But I don't really, like Gonzi said earlier, I don't really know what his load is going to be as they continue to try to ramp him up. Like he said, he's probably not going to get the ball like 30 times, especially if they go down big. Jameis is going to start airing it out. So I guess I won't say I'm not worried about the run game, but I'm not as worried about it as I am this past game. I want to see this secondary also step up against this receiving core. It should not be an issue. If Brandon Stevens can just turn his head around when the ball is coming, I feel like we should be fine. But I think we should be good. But my main focus is I want to see this defensive line perform better than they did on Monday. I just want to see maybe a couple more sacks, and just be dominant. I mean, we've seen it happen before. I just want to see it again. So that's kind of my main focus. I want to see this defensive line play better, and I want to see how the secondary holds up. Without our two best guys, and to see what Zach Orr can do. When he's limited on the talent that he has on that side of the ball.
Yeah, and yeah, pretty much what I said at the beginning. This is probably the biggest game we need from the pass rush. Because I don't know if we're going to able to truly make up for the loss that we have in the secondary. So how do we do it? Blitz. Rush the passer. Get after him, okay? We need a big game from Owe. I need a big game from Matabike. I need a big game from Van Noy. Like, they've kind of been snoozing a little bit recently. I know they had a couple sacks last week, but Baker had all day, let's be real, except for a handful of plays. We need consistent pressure. We need Jameis feeling it back there, because that's going to help your guys tremendously on the back end. If we've got a nervous quarterback out there that can't see the field because of the pressure, I mean, you're asking for interceptions. So yeah, bring the heat too. Blitz this guy. I think that Zachary Orr can do a little bit more instead of just sitting vanilla defenses. What's up?
I'm sorry. I just got a Schefter tweet. Schefter is giving injury updates as we speak.
Oh,
He
nice.
just discussed Zay. It looks like although Zay was questionable, he is expected to play tomorrow afternoon.
As I figured.
So
yes,
he will be good to go against the Browns.
How effective is he going to be? Is he hobbled? We're going to find out. We will watch him closely during the game tomorrow. But that's good news. Anyway, yeah, bring the house. Come on, Zachary Orr. You got to blitz a little bit more. I'm not saying call cover 0 on 3rd and 10 every time. I'm just saying call some blitzes, mix them in there, disguise the coverages, fake blitzes, get him rattled, because it's Jameis Winston. All right, I'm not going to no knock on him. He's a very solid backup, but he's turnover prone. You said he threw 30 TDs and 30 picks. That was in his prime. So it's like, he can turn the ball over. On that Bucks team we just played last week, he had Mike Evans on the squad, and he will give you that ball back if you force him to. He will. He's not a shy quarterback. He's not going to just take the checkdowns every time. He will uncork that thing and rifle it. Okay, he will. So that could be a curse, and that could be a blessing. So let's make it be a blessing more than a curse. I mean, I expect him to hit on a couple plays, because this defense still isn't perfect. But I think we can also get some turnovers as well. But it starts with the pressure. So you've got to blitz them, and you've got to have strong days from your guys, especially with no Jedrick Wills. Wyatt Teller, I know he's going to play, but he's banged up. And a couple other pieces on that O-line as well. It's not the greatest. I mean, it's okay. The Browns have always had a solid offensive line. But, how many of those sacks this year? Watson took 32 sacks. How many of those sacks this year were really Watson? or the offensive line. I don't know. So I'm not going to blame that all on the O-line because I know Watson used to hold the ball a lot too. So we'll see. We need a strong game from them. I can't stress that enough. That's my first key to the game, probably first and foremost. Biggest key to the entire game, honestly, because that will really dictate how this defense goes and how this game will go for the Browns on offense. Secondly, you got to capitalize on your turnovers. Okay, if you punch a ball out, you got to recover it. If the ball is thrown right to you, you got to catch the interception. We've had way too many drop picks this year. I hope the defenders hit the jugs machine after practice because we really need to stop dropping picks. It's really annoying. Like I'm not even laughing about it anymore. Like it's really kind of embarrassing because it's like, are you kidding me? Like I'm not even laughing, guys. I could catch some of these. It's really, really bad. Like some of these are just like fielding punts. I mean, really? Seriously? I mean, I know they say that's why they're on defense, but dude, you've been playing football your whole life. Like, catch the ball if it's thrown right at you. I mean, it's getting kind of, yeah, it was funny maybe the first or second time, but like third, four, five, six, seven, eight time, I'm like, okay, let's shut that S down, please, and let's start catching the ball. I'm kind of sick of it. Okay, and look alive. If we get some passes tipped at the line, I need the linebackers to wake up and get some turnovers. Okay, that is another great way to help your struggling secondary is force turnovers, you know, because that's another way to get stops. Don't have to go 1, 2, 3 out in a punt. You could just go first down, interception, there's your ball. Take the ball away physically. That'll help out that secondary. So that's my second point. Get force takeaways. Force them and capitalize when he gives you a freebie, which he might. He very well might give us a freebie. He very well might. We'll see. But it's built upon each other. Like they're hand in hand. You pressure him well, he's going to give you a freebie. I bet he will. Um, so we'll see. And then lastly, just be disciplined. Honestly, just be disciplined. Sorry.
There we go. Just I hate to say it because I don't like Bill Belichick, but just do your job, okay? Don't do crazy stuff. Stay in your zone. Stay in your man. Lock down the field. Don't try to be a hero on some plays and give up a 55-yard gain. Do your job, okay? Play disciplined defense, and you will win this game, okay? They're 1-6 for a reason. There's no Cooper. They have Tillman at wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy, and other people that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. Okay, let's just fill our gaps, fill your space, play your man, play your zone, and you'll be fine. Okay, Zachary Orr, on the other hand, be mixing it up with the play calling, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the blitzes. So it's simple, guys. It's really simple. The biggest thing that I really need improvement on is, like I said, pass rush. Okay, we need to see that. Okay, just a quick recap for the people who weren't listening or just tuning in. Pass rush, biggest thing, capitalize on your turnovers, meaning catch the ball and recover the fumbles, and then play disciplined defense. Play your zones, play your man, make your rush lane, and just wrap guys up and make your tackles. That's it. Don't do crazy stuff. I mean, if another example, if you have a shot on a guy, wrap him up. Don't try to rip the ball out and miss, and then he breaks a tackle and goes all the way because you're trying to get a fumble. Just play discipline. If there's a chance to rip the ball out, you can. Okay? You can rip the ball out by pass rushing on Jameis. Just then you can rip the ball out. You can knock it out of his hand. He won't see you coming. Okay? Just play disciplined defense. That's all it is. That's all it's going to take, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's it right there. And like you said earlier, the pass rush, with the secondary being a little down bad right now, I think the pass rush stepping up will be a huge help for them
You
down
got
the stretch. Because, I
him a
mean,
lift back. He's a blitzer. Send him on a blitz.
yeah, absolutely. And then you can have Kyle Hamilton, in
Yeah.
coverage, a little more now. So I think that helps this defense even more. Just again, if the pass rush steps up, if the blitz packages are good enough and we get the pressure on Jameis, I mean, you help your secondary. And that's all you really can ask for at that point. So, I mean, pressure is key. Try to force mistakes from Jameis, and stay patient, stay disciplined. I mean, you hit it on the head right there. I think those are great keys, to help this defense and this team come out with the win on Sunday. All right, guys. We gave them the keys to the kingdom. We gave them the keys to success for Sunday. Now it's time for score predictions. Gonz, how's this game
You
going?
got to win this game. I know trap game this, trap game that. You got to win it, okay? I don't think the Ravens are going to falter. I think they're going to come through. I think it's going to be a battle. It might be a dogfight at some point. But I'll say I want to go 27-17 or 24-17. Because I just don't feel like it. It could be a blowout. It could be the Ravens could blow them out, but I just feel like the Browns are going to play us tough a little bit. That defense is going to give us a little bit of fits. But I think the O-line will do enough. I think Henry will get rolling in the second half, and we can pull away from the victory or pull away with the win. So I'm going to just go. I'll give us the benefit of the doubt, 27-17, but I really want to go with 24, but I'm going with 27-17. I think the defense
All right.
is a little bit better. I think we get an interception or at least one turnover, whether it be from whoever. I think we get at least one, okay? I think we need to get at least one to, win the game. 2 would be great. 2 or more. 2 plus would be great. But you could go ahead and mark us down for at least 1.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that sentiment. I don't, as much as I wanted to be like Monday night and we just started scoring touchdowns everywhere. I feel like that's not going to be the case tomorrow. Like I said, with division matchups, they will always play tough. So I think we don't score as much. I kind of have us winning 21 to like 10. I'm not saying it's going to be like a super blowout, but the Browns will keep it competitive. I think they'll keep it close just because it's us. And like, again, they know us. They kind of know our tendencies,
And
what we
this
like to
defense is
do.
nothing to scoff at. I know they're not that.
Exactly.
It's, you already know. You already
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. And like I said earlier, this is not the Browns' record. We see the Browns' record. Trust me, we get it. They are 1-6. They do not have a great record right now. But I will say again, it is any given Sunday in this NFL. A team can turn it up at any time. This is never a time to sleep on your opponent, especially a divisional opponent with a defense of that caliber of talent. Have they played up to that caliber of talent?
No.
No.
100% the better team.
Right.
So anything short of a win would be a letdown, in my opinion. You got to win this.
You
got
have to win. No, I agree.
Win.
I agree with you. You have to win this game. Because the division wins are never going to come easy. You know what I mean? Like we all saw the Bengals game. We all saw what happened with that game. It was a freaking shootout. The Bengals were being counted out because of their not that great start to the season, and they took us to the limit when we played them. It took a missed field goal and a Derrick Henry closing run to get Justin Tucker in range to end that game in overtime. So, as much as I want to say records matter, a lot of the time they don't. So, this is not the time, and the Ravens never usually do. But this is definitely not the time to play down to your opponent. This is definitely, if you have the chance, stomp on them if you can, and don't let your foot off their neck
No,
if possible.
we don't need a Gardner
Yeah.
Minshew type of game.
And
No. Don't
there you
even
go.
think about it. We've got to win this game. I'm sorry. I mean,
Like,
too many things going on. Pittsburgh keeps winning. Unfortunately, they're playing decent football. I know they're 2-5 teams, but you got to give them some sort of credit, I guess.
and then it doesn't make it any better because now the next opponent they play is the Giants.
All right, so they're going to win automatically.
So they're probably going to win that one. So they will probably be 6-2.
Their schedule starts heating up in
Monday
the
night
second half, though. So I
That is
won't.
true. That is true.
I'm just locked in on what we're doing right now, and everything should unravel itself. Cincinnati's got the Eagles at 1:00. So
That's gonna be. I think that's going to be a good one.
That's
going to be a good game.
I'm going with Bengals, man. I
really.
There's just something about this team now. The Bengals are.
Well, did you hear the news about T. Higgins?
No, I didn't. What happened?
There is a possibility that T. Higgins could miss this game because he injured himself. Well, I don't know if he injured himself, but he did get injured on during Friday's practice. So it's not guaranteed that he will play on when they play the Eagles.
Yeah, but I just don't trust Jalen Hurts, and I do not trust this Eagles team. And the Bengals, I know they don't look very good, but they're starting to put together wins now that their offense is struggling and they're winning. So I mean, you could chalk that up to the Giants and the Browns just being garbage or playing bad. I don't know. I really want to pick the Eagles, but it said the Bengals home too, man. I don't know. I don't know. But if the Bengals win this, they're right back in this thing at 3-4. And I'd hate to see that. I really want the Eagles to just put them away, drop them to 2-5, and then I'll be feeling better. Wait, are they 3-4 right now already?
Bengals?
Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. They're 3-4. So yeah, a win would put them at 500.
Yeah, they're currently
Oh
3-4. Yep.
my
So they would be
Lord.
4 and
Why don't
4
they
with a
just go
win.
away?
I really, in my
These
honest opinion, I don't.
schedules that these teams have just keep saving them, man. We have them at 1-4, and then they go ahead and play the Giants. I mean, come on. Why couldn't they play like Buffalo, and that would have put them at 1-5 or something? It's like we have their so aggravating. Then they turn around and play Carolina the week before us. I mean,
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Bengals' schedule. Their next couple of matchups are, again, we know Eagles this Sunday. They have Raiders, us again. Hold on, my laptop just froze on me. So they have Raiders, us again, Chargers, Steelers, Cowboys.
Raiders. I mean, auto wins.
But I
Well,
don't know, man.
we got to beat them again.
I agree, but in my humble opinion, I don't know if they come out of that Eagles game. I think they lose that game,
Right.
and it's not even just it's not me being a hater. I swear, I'm not being a hater. I promise you.
No, I'm not. You can be a hater. I don't give a crap. Go ahead.
No, but like I just don't know if they win that game. It's just I know the Eagles have not been playing great. Please don't get me wrong. I know they have not been playing great. They've been kind of like skating by with some of these wins. I agree. But
Same with the Bengals, though, so I guess you're right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at
this
that point,
could be an insane game.
And that was my point. I really think it could honestly be a shootout. And it's crazy. Now, and this also depends if T. Higgins plays or not. If T. Higgins does not play and the Eagles can hone in on Jamar Chase, I don't know. I don't know how this Bengals run game holds up against that Eagles D line. I know the D line hasn't been playing great, but the Bengals' run game has not been incredible either. So I guess it's hit or miss. But honestly, that game could be, depending on who plays and who doesn't, that game could honestly end in a shootout. We don't know what could happen because both defenses have not been playing spectacular, especially pass defenses. Both pass defenses have not been great. But yeah, I'm very interested to see with that game. We know Giants and freaking Steelers. Steelers are probably going to get an auto win unless they completely wet the bed, which I would not be mad at. If Giants want to upset, I'm not mad if you upset. So we'll see what happens with that. But you're right. We have to get this win. We need this division win just to keep stacking them up. We're already 1-0 in the division. Being 2-0 would be even better. Get us to hopefully lead us to winning the division. That's really all I want. I don't care about the 1 seed this year. I just want to win the division, guarantee our spot in the playoffs. That's really all I care about at this point. Is just a playoff spot. Get us in the dance so we can make some noise.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about that. Just go win the Super Bowl. I don't care. Just find a way.
At this point, just do it. But yeah, guys, those are our thoughts on this Sunday afternoon matchup. Ravens-Browns. Let us know your thoughts. Are the Ravens going to come out victorious? Are the Browns going to try to pull the upset? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We want to thank you guys for always supporting our content, whether you're liking, watching, sharing it with your grandmama, your aunt, your uncle. Doesn't matter. Thank you guys for sharing our content. We appreciate it nonetheless. Gonz, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, just bring home the win. Get it done.
Well, you heard him, Ravens. Go get that win, please, so we can get to 6-2. As you guys know, the trade deadline is approaching. We'll see if the Ravens will be making any moves coming up at this trade deadline. Some names are getting kind of taken off the board as weeks go by. So it'll be kind of interesting to see if the Ravens feel like they need to make a move. I feel like they do.
Pass
but
rush.
That's another conversation for another day. Yep. I feel like they do, but that's another conversation for another day. So we'll be able to bring you guys that news as it comes. If it happens, if it doesn't, we'll let you know how we feel about it. Thank you guys for tuning in for another pregame thoughts episode with Dom and Gonz. We will catch you guys following the Ravens-Browns game on Sunday. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll see you. Go Ravens.